What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel once again. Sorry I'm not in front of my green screen. Still on the road. Had to do a wedding this weekend, so things have been very busy. But right now we are talking about Sicario, Day of the Soldado. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and give you my score. Thank you guys for all the thumbs up, the comments. Be sure to let me know what you thought about this movie, but let's get right into it. Just so y'all know, my voice is going away. I've had a long week, a lot of screaming and yelling and wedding stuff, and yeah. But I want to talk about this film, once again, written by Taylor Sheridan. Now, we do have a brand new director. It is not Denis Villeneuve, but I'm actually okay with that. I was interesting to see if they could put a different spin on the first Sicario. If you guys don't know, you can get on Stardust, but I really loved the first Sicario, and the more that I watched it, the more I loved it. I haven't watched this movie more than once, so I have to judge it on my first viewing. But I will say, I do believe I like this movie a little bit more than other people. I've been seeing a lot of negativity online. I've also seen some very positive things, but a lot of negative reviews. But really, I watched this film and I'm like, you know what? It doesn't really measure up to the first one for me, because I do believe it's lacking in that directing and editing and cinematography category. But you have the music, you have the brilliant performances, and I do believe you have a script here and a plot written by Taylor Sheridan that was very good, and it served both of our main characters, well, all three of our main characters, very well. You get to see more of Del Toro and Brolin do what they do best, and that is be absolutely BA. I believe Brolin's even more hardcore in this one than he was in the last one, and Del Toro really gets his time to shine once again. I don't think it was as strong of a performance as the first movie, but I do believe he was still really good here, and I liked what they did with his character. Now, I will say I like the first half of this movie a lot more than the second half. There are some things that happen in the second half that I wasn't really happy or a fan of. Not that I wasn't necessarily a fan of, I was just like, okay, they could have done that a tad bit differently, but everything that happens, whether I really enjoyed it or not, it all seemed very real to me. There are some things that are going to offend a lot of people in this movie. Some very graphic elements, some things that are happening to our female characters, just things overall that I think people are just going to watch and say, okay, it's not exciting, it's not entertaining, it's grim, it's dark, and it's really heart-wrenching. But what I love about the Sicario franchise now is that it's very real. It's stuff that happens every day, and I hate watching this kind of stuff and thinking about, wow, this is actually happening. It's very realistic. I do believe a lot of this movie is very true to what is going on, and that is very telling about what this director and Denis Villeneuve could do to bring things like this to life. The music here was fantastic. I was definitely missing that theme song, but it starts to kick in towards the end. I'm like, all right, there's Sicario. I'm feeling it. But overall, the music was really good. Some very good action scenes. I'm not going to call them action scenes because it wasn't necessarily action. It's just like, boom, this just happened. What are you going to do about it now as an audience member? But this movie takes twists and turns. It takes one twist towards the end where I was like, I can't believe they just did that. And then another twist, and it's like, okay, I think they just undo what they did, so I don't know if I love the decision, but I'm glad we're doing some things that are different here. I like how this movie caught me off guard, even though the things that caught me off guard were just like, maybe it's a little bit too much. It got a little less realistic towards the end, and that's what I really love about the Sicario franchise, is that it's very real, like I said, but towards the end, things happen. I'm like, okay, how does this character survive this? What is this character doing? Why are they going to end the story like this instead of spinning it in this direction? It's just like those decisions were very interesting to me. And like I said, I was missing Denis Villeneuve's touch. I like what this director did in certain portions. I think some of the cinematography was beautiful, some of the best that I've seen all year. I think what was lacking for me, honestly, was the color scheme. I loved the colors and just some of the way the shots were composed in the first one way more than I liked some of these shots and some of the way that the colors shined in this one. I think Del Toro and Brolin carried this movie. I loved our young female character and what they did with her. They had these two storylines about this young boy and this young girl, what happens when they're thrown into this world, and I was actually okay with how most of that ended up. Even though some of those twists and turns didn't do it for me, I'm still going to give this movie a pretty solid score. This gets a 72% from me. The first one was one of my favorite movies of that year, and while this one isn't that good, I still had a solid time in the theater, and I cannot wait to see what happens next in this franchise. if this movie does deliver at the box office, because I do believe this is one of those films that it has more to offer. I want to see more, but if you bring Denis Villeneuve back, I am not going to be offended. So what did you guys think? Did you like this movie? Did you not like it? Are you still a bigger fan of the first film like I am? Or do you think the second one surpassed the first one? There's so many different opinions online, but that's what I love about movies. Be sure to comment your thoughts. Thank you guys for all of the thumbs up. I'm going to be coming out with way more videos this week back in front of my green screen because finally I'm going home. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll catch you later.